the Aura Silence, which really stinks, but the rest of it is really solid. There's rumors.
I'll do more next turn.
There's rumors that Brian Davis sacrificed a goat last night in order to get a draw like this.
Wow. Yep, take the Aura. Does he bother going for the plow? I mean, he might as well. He's just going to refill his hand, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason not to? Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be conservative, isn't he? He's still gonna win, but it's not as much fun. Evan. And the look on his face was priceless because I'd already firestormed him once. He's looking at his hand. There must be something I could do. Yeah, memory's all I got left. All right, there's Morphling. I think unmask Morphling, draw some cards. You know you're gonna unmask it eventually, right?
Yeah.
Not like Spinning Darkness is gonna do any good.
Yeah, there it is.
Waste you. All right, so Bob has a land and a card.
Ask or something like
Yeah,
that.
Brian's plan next turn is probably land done. He might go ahead and unmask if Bob actually has 2 cards in his hand. He may unmask to make sure.
Right.
Well, how much enchantment removal does Bob have in his main deck? Does he have anything other than that one Aura?
Let's take a look. Got his main deck.
Does he have a disenchant or?
No, it looks like it's just the Aura, which he would have because a situation as you can possibly imagine. He could actually get out of this. I mean, he could potentially draw a Gaze Blessing, somehow get into something that gets rid of the disc, and put down Ivory Mask.
I really think he should have consulted for Swamp there. I mean, he paid the alternative casting cost of 3B for Unmask. He could have. Yeah, Bob's got another counterspell. He gets to counterspell a Drain. If he doesn't get the rest in the meantime.
Bob's really hoping that after he says go, Brian will reach over and draw a card.
Train life you for 3.
It's smart not to use the ritual. He knew Bob's just going to counterspell. He's saving the ritual to sink into the next drain after he runs Bob out of counter magic. It's a good play. This kid can play.
Brian does need to get some more life back. He's lost a lot of life from the Necropotence. Yeah.
Brainstorm. Okay.
So
he has corrupt and drain
brainstorm.
in his hand, though, right?
The counterspell here would be big.
That's
oh,
big.
That's huge. Really big if.
Brian should duress here.
Right.
I mean, it's just brainstorm. He's got to know that Bob's card is decent. Yeah, there's the duress. That'll get counterspell. Now he's got a corrupt in his hand. Ritual corrupt. Or ritual drain. 3, 4,
That's correct.
Draining for 4.
Or drain for 4.
Drain for 4.
Yep.
That's probably better. Now, presumably, he'll come up with a swamp and be able to. He still has a consult in his hand, right?
Yeah. Something else. Figuring he'll draw.
Well, then he can't corrupt.
Well, while
Bob has Compost in his sideboard. Compost is amazing against the free spell Necro deck.
Okay.
Bob brainstorms his response.
it's in his hand right now.
It's now Davis 6, Maher 12.
Yep.
Brian will draw some more cards.
To draw.
That one's not bad. It's not great. He's got 5 land in play, so he can counter a drain potentially, but
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, that's right. No, he didn't. And he's gonna get it first.
what's that?
That's force of will.
What was that? Bob Maher, ladies and gentlemen.
Now he can.
He gets his draw phase back too.
Right.
Okay.
Bob's gonna play Sylvan, presumably. And now Davis should disc away the Sylvan and the Necro, right?
That's what I think.
I'll blow this.
Yeah.
He
There
blows
it
the
is.
disc.
He gets his draw phase back. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you can't let Bob Sylvan.
Do you know, Randy, exactly what the count is on how many drain lives and corrupts he has remaining? He starts 4 corrupt and 4 drain life. So yeah, he's got the full complement.
He's used up 2 corrupts, and I want to say 3 drains. It might only be 2 drains, so I'm not sure if he's cast 2 drains or 3 drains over the course of the game.
Oh my lord! jeez. This is insane.
What the? Bob casually flips that onto the table. He has 1 drain and 2 corrupts left in his deck, but those aren't going to do anything unless he comes up with the 1 remaining disc. Meanwhile, the 2 Skittering Scourges can win in the game even while Ivory Mask is on the table. I
am just stunned at the developments of this game.
Look at the Bob's go-ahead hand gesture. So much more confident now than it was at the beginning.
There's a reason for that.
And Brian does have spin in his hand.
Yeah, it is. So this game could take a while, though. If Bob draws an oath, he'll be in real good shape. Then,
he's gonna let the Fairy Conclave get spun, so he can then cast Spike Feeder.
It's always landed.
That's cute.
That's a good play. That's a good play.
Another ritual.
So
Still
Davis really needs to find that Skittering Scourge, give it the best shot. I don't know what the math is based upon how many cards he's got in his deck, but if he has more than
two
about
of them.
16 or 17 cards, he should definitely consult.
I think he's got like 30.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got another spin, I think.
Or a spin. You probably would want to use Contagion because there's no way the spin would gain him any life.
True.
Before, he was thinking so much about, wow, Swords to Plowshares, that's an awesome draw. It'll probably,
It'll get unmasked.
Yeah, it will get unmasked, but
he can't yes.
Unmasked targets a player. You're right.
Along with some Dystopias, which can also remove Ivory Mask.
Oh,
eventually.
big pull. That's a disc. That's a disc.
You just see what was 4 cards down.
Okay.
And get it as the cantrip card.
Latent Tutor.
But he can get But he can get Null Rod.
Scoop. Absolutely miserable. Every time he did anything, Dirk got to draw a card, and Necro just can't operate under situations like that. Tutor counterspell Sacred Ground. Takes the Tutor. That seems like the right call, Bucky.
Even the Wasteland won't give him counterspell mana. He would.
Meanwhile, does not include Necropotence. I mean, that's got to be Bob's big fear, is that Brian's about to go turn 3 Necropotence. Oh.
What's going on?
Nah, he's got an Unmask for next turn, but Impulse, pretty good card.
Mentally. I mean, he hasn't really had any decisions here. His draw's fairly poor, especially considering his draw.
Dequalifier with a Squirrel Prison deck.
Cast Counterspell.
Started playing Magic during Mirage, so does have and 10th. He's the first Memphis player to crack the 200, top 200.
Well, he keeps drawing more ways to get rid of the counter magic in Bob's hand, so if he eventually does draw into Necropotence, he could actually come back in this game, even though he's a little down right now.
He's going to Impulse first. Oh, Sacred Ground. Doesn't do a lot, but stops Wasteland, so seems worth committing to the board. Oh, that beats Spinning Darkness, doesn't it? Or does it, or does it not beat Spinning Darkness? If Spinning Darkness kills a Treetop Village while Sacred Ground's in play, what happens? The damage kills it? Okay, so that does not beat Spinning Darkness.
Well, there's a card that he really wanted, and it's Enlightened Tutor.
That was an Impulse.
Oh, that was an Impulse? No, he got Duress.
Oh, he got Duress.
That's why he took the
He
Treetop
impulsed as a
Village.
response to Duress.
Okay, yeah, that's the correct play. I knew he wouldn't take that if he...
Good play. He knew that he was going to lose the Impulse.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I would definitely be doing.
Oh,
jeez, where did that
compost
come
off
from?
the top.
Good God. That's about the worst thing he could have dropped right there.
Worst thing for Brian. Best thing for the hometown fans.
Want to call station in the airport? Well, I'll have to roll on the creek.
Nothing that bad.
No, he needs
so
to
far.
get a disc, right?
Oh, that was very good.
That was an excellent, excellent console.
Only really relevant card. Yeah, it's tough too because of the treetop villages.
Yeah, those villages are going to start to hit hard.
Yeah, the Sacred Ground
Instead.
I don't think I would.
Seems like Wasteland's better than Swamp.
Yeah, I completely
I
agree.
mean, I understand Corrupt, but
It's a little peculiar.
yeah, I think you should have just if you felt he had too much land in his hand, you should have discarded Swamp.
Did well, Bob doesn't have much on the top.
Just gotta go beat down with
So,
treetop villages, though,
I
right?
think so.
His blessing. Targeting. Draw. Okay.
Is it worth for Davis to cast Ritual Persecute with Compost in play?
Treetop village. Okay. Tight.
Yeah, there's no real reason to because you can discount Force of Will.
There's the disc.
Okay.
So Bob doesn't have any.
Mhm.
For now, he really needs to find a way of dealing with those treetop villages.
It's true.
And he's probably wishing he had that wasteland back. Yeah. He doesn't know that, but
Reflecting Pool allowed Bob access to 2 green mana
right.
to activate
Six
2
and
treetop
take 3.
villages.
He's going to have to keep the disc till his turn because he can't kill.
Right, he needs to get a treetop village with it.
Right. Yeah, might as well corrupt him.
Corrupt you for 7. That resolves, putting Davis back to 10.
The treetop villages are still really difficult to get rid of, though.
Yeah. 3 blue sources available. He doesn't lose to Wasteland.
Tight.
Davis has to blow the disc here, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's where it was really his intention. This was
And-
kind of all predetermined.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, his draw's been relatively poor, and he hasn't been able to draw the
Well, I mean-
high-quality cards that he had game 1.
And then drain for yeah. But Bob has a counterspell, so he's gonna persecute blue, presumably.
Blue.
You don't need the name yet. He said persecute blue.
Alright.
The right play is to say persecute. Are you countering? But he tipped his hand. He did the same thing with a consult earlier.
I think someone's standing behind Bob and signaling to Davis what Bob has in his hand because this guy's just crazy. He seems to always know what to do. Always. It's just amazing. Like, it's uncanny. Like, once in a while he'll make a mistake, but for the vast majority of the time, he seems to have, like, some psychic ability to know when to hold off and when to go for it. I don't really understand it because he wouldn't know the Swords of Plowshares in his hand.
I'm not convinced he should be playing around Plow.
Yeah, he
can
probably
do that
shouldn't
next
be,
turn.
but it's going to work for his advantage hugely. I mean, his back's to the wall now. There's no stopping it here.
Corrupt you. How much is it?
Next turn. So, if Davis thinks it through, he should know there's no counterspell in Bob's hand. Now, will Bob draw a counterspell? He draws a Light Tutor.
Tutor. Too
That
slow.
shouldn't do it.
Activate. Alright. Attack.
Yeah, as long as Davis sinks everything into the drain, he wins. Yeah, he reached over,
Oh,
tapped the
jeez.
Miser's Cage. Come on, don't say
Don't
4!
do it.
Shh, don't, guys, be quiet.
Turn you for 4.
Oh my God. I can't believe he did that. All he has to do is tap 3 more lands.
What's amazing here?
It's too late. He said drain life for 4.
What's
It's on the
amazing here?
stack.
What's amazing here is the top deck of the disc is the worst card he can draw because then he's
left 4
actually
mana for the
tempted to
disc.
leave the 4 mana open
Doesn't
for the
matter.
disc. If he draws an utter piece of garbage, he won't keep
Oh my.
4 mana open for the disc. And guess what happens next turn? He's got an Enlightened Tutor in his
Oh
hand.
my.
Anybody
Enlightened Tutor for
have
Ivory
any
Mask.
guesses what Bob's gonna
Is
Enlightened
it a
Tutor for?
Mercadian Masks card?
So despite
Oh,
the
it's an
fact
aura. How can he?
Okay.
Bob Maher Jr.
you should go for the 2 casting cost Null Rod.
He scoops. Tutor. It doesn't matter what he gets. There's. Clearly, he's going to take Force of Will and then go Ritual Necro, right?
Yeah, I think that's the obvious play.
Ritual Necro should have won in the first game, although it didn't. But if he'd Wastelanded that one turn, he'd let a big drain get Force of Will, he might have won.
Yeah, this is a very similar draw to the draw he had. Bob's got some
Go ahead.
weird synergy he has against Necropotence, where his Brainstorm will allow him to hide cards from the Unmasked.
Unmasking.
Right.
And then spinning cards from the game.
Yep, and Bob's going to do exactly that. Bob has Oath of Druids in his hand. He obviously imagine he'll hide 2 counters. Counterspell Disrupt. Go.
The candidate.
I mean, Bob may think the oath is gone, but
Okay, so you can fill his hand. And considering that he knows that Maher was hiding cards, it's probably not the worst play to unmask him.
that's fair.
That's fair.
He'll probably unmask next turn and then play the disc.
Draw some creature lands, I think.
Go ahead.
There's land number 4
Disc.
and a disc.
Counterspell.
Bob counterspells. Not sure why Brian didn't unmask.
Well,
Bob almost draws an extra card, catches himself.
Go ahead.
Bob has Forbid in his hand now. He's got
bit of buyback.
those cards are pretty good.
Yeah.
Forbid.
Let's see.
It's Forbid, no
No,
buyback.
no buyback. Okay.
Leaving up Disrupt, by the way. We'll see if Ryan falls for Disrupt. Is this Persecute?
Yeah, probably.
Is he going to get Persecute disrupted?
Or he might put out the disc if he thinks the disc's more important. Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right play.
Okay.
Also, he should know that the disrupts may or may not be.
We're allowed to look at the deck lists before this match. In the 15-minute break, they were allowed to
Force
consult
of
the
will.
deck lists that they received last night.
Disrupt. Okay.
6th edition tech in Brian's hand.
Well,
What's he saving? I'm not sure what he's saving
Go ahead.
the unmask for. Bob still has Counterspell and Disrupt in his hand, right? What is
First Legion in blue.
completely useless cards. He doesn't know it, but they are.
Okay. Swamp.
He knows it's Plow. He saw Plow when he persecuted. What did he name for the console?
Swamp.
I have no idea why he didn't do this in his previous main phase.
He was probably hoping to draw.
Unmask you. Remove this token.
He pitches 2 good cards for a worthless card.
Brian's like, I have no creatures in my deck. Why do you have these 2 in your deck? Of course, that Source to Plowshares was pretty good in the first game. I mean, clearly you should take Plow, because it can be relevant to the match. Shouldn't have been in the last game, but it was.
Corrupt you.
That was somebody plowing their own creature. I thought that was another which does absolutely nothing.
Drain life for 5.
I don't see how he loses this game. Mask. Bob has to top deck Ivory Mask and either a Null Rod or a
Corrupt you for 7.
Corrupt for 7. Still pretty good. I take
Yeah.
takes Davis up. He has to floodplain and then shuffle Ivory Mask to the top and then.
6.
Nah, I don't think Bob plays like that. All right. He has a couple unmasked, a couple discs, but no Necropotence in this draw. This isn't the way the last couple games have gone. It should be a somewhat different game of character. I mean, Brian's had first Necro and play on the first turn 2 out of the 3 games.
Go ahead.
Some people will mulligan aggressively and just try to get it Necropotence. They won't accept a draw that without one unless it's perfect. This draw was decent. It was a nice mix of land and spells, but his spells are all expensive, and his deck is built to. His deck is built such that Brainstorm. He's going to get to do some Brainstorm fetch land tricks now, and he's given Bob plenty of time to set up.
Unmask.
I mean, I'm not sure this draw was fast enough to keep.
Counterspell.
He just goes ahead and counterspells the unmask.
Go ahead.
Now he's going to Brainstorm and
Alright.
put the bad cards back on top. Reshuffle, getting a land to play with Floodplain. Oh, keep 1 Wasteland. He can play Ivory Mask with Counterspell backup, can't he? Bob's pretty close to winning the Pro Tour. A Pro Tour that Brian Davis should be leading 3-0 right now. Unfortunate. Boom.
There's the mask.
Go ahead.
So.
All right, Brian's got it. He knows he's got to get disc in play.
Right.
I didn't see his draw. His counters.
Disc.
Wait, why doesn't he have a counterspell? Disc as a response. Sack my Floodplain still as a response. Impulse. Look for Force of Will. The impulses.
He really wants to
Aura.
protect it.
There's Aura.
That's efforts are about to be futile. That
Or silence.
there's a much better chance that he'll be able to knowingly setting.
Davis kept this bizarre draw that had nothing but 4 mana spells, and Bob's. Yep, there goes the mask. That's pretty good for Brian. There's counterspell.
Well, still trying to get the disc
There's
out.
another disc. That'll get what? Pay the 5 for Force of Will?
Yeah, looks
Yeah,
like it.
pay the 5 for Force of Will.
Alright.
Doesn't get the table because
But
his
now the
eventual
next-
win is with either some combination of the enchantment locks or the creatures.
Stake is the disc. He'd be trying to win with the cards in his hand. I mean, that
Yeah.
treat. Every time that Treetop Village hits him, he's down 3 cards once he gets Necro on.
Right. Yeah, Davis has been playing mostly as if he were playing his entire deck. It's given.
The Treetop Village is just going to come over for a while. I mean,
Now-
Brian's got no answer to Treetop Village, and there's actually 3 discs in his graveyard.
There's something interesting that Davis did just here.
Land out of somebody's opening draw.
First feature naming blue.
Just bizarre away from his match day.
Okay. Targeting. Ivory mask.
It's kind of amazing, actually, that the disc isn't in play. Consider a brainstorm.
Okay, village.
Okay,
I love it.
I didn't see.
Go ahead.
Another drain
Ah.
life.
It's starting to get interesting. He's got 6 land in play.
Rocky.
Seems like it would have been better to wait for one more land.
Yep.
Bob allows Corrupt for 7.
Very much in Bob's favor.
Surprised that Bob still has as many creature removal spells in his deck as he does. He hasn't seen a Skittering Scourge the entire match.
Yeah.
Consult? Ah, this one he's actually going to cast. He says Necropotence. There's Necro. Darkness in his deck, I believe. Necro? Please? Pretty please? No.
This is getting dangerous.
Yeah, he's going to activate both of them.
So I think Davis
Bang.
needs to top deck some combination of swamps or rituals. Yeah, I did the math on it. So he's one
Drain
swamp
6.
away or ritual.
Swamps look like, yeah.
One swamp away or ritual
Or
from
corrupt.
a game 5
Or
or a corrupt.
Or another drain. Would allow him to win on the following turn.
Right. Would
I think you.
a demonic consultation would too, right?
Consult for Ritual will do it if he does it.
Go ahead.
Alright, Bob wants permission.
Okay, let's see.
Or
What does
Ivory
Bob
Mask.
draw?
Reflecting Pool.
That's not a
That's
counter
not
spell.
counter.
Activate.
Smash.
Activate. Right.
You're at 9? Ritual!
Oh, jeez. That.
Ritual.
There it is.
Ritual. Confident.
All right.
I can do this.
How much you doing it for, my man?
I think I can. Plays around Disrupt. Also trying to become the first person ever to win the finals 5-0.
That was rude. That was really, really rude. You know that? That might.
Yeah, Brian Davis
qualify,
is already
actually.
starting the mulligan. Celebrate with gestures. Necro and whatever. Counterspell doesn't beat Necro. Not after the Necro's in play. Counterspell only beats the Skull if the Skull doesn't get into play.
Yep.
5 cards. Going down to 15. There's an Unmask and a Corrupt.
Left. I could be wrong though.
Just waste.
Let's see. Let's look at his hand.
I don't
is
see
that
any
one on
land
the
in his
side?
hand.
There is that one. Randy?
Counterspell on the left edge.
Okay, yeah, he may. Yeah, he looks out of mana.
Bob draws.
Go.
Not
Ooh.
land. Bang. Bob has no permanence in play. My hand for more cards. And Brian's playing correctly.
Like 2 or 3 wastelands in that final game. This seems very similar.
Did he
Where
take
it's just
Counterspell?
not much you can do.
Why did he take Counterspell?
Bob
still doesn't
didn't
draw
draw
land.
land.
And eventually he should consult for Swamp. But all right, there's Floodplain.
Yeah, it's a little
That's not a
harder to
land.
use the Wasteland.
All right, discard Light a Day. My money's still on Torok.
Bob has at least one counterspell.
Yep. We should waste Tundra.
If you waste the Tundra, you can't counterspell.
Right.
But he's got to draw.
Taps it for mana.
Impulse.
It's all he had, but
Okay, should be able to find at least,
a land.
and
Yep.
he does.
Yep. And he's going to use it. Bob figures that the only way he can win this game is if Davis doesn't have many more drains. He has. I know. That's going to get counterspell. Forbid. Can he counter all those drains?
No, not. He's got to counter the Persecute first.
True.
No
Should
more
just be
land.
Persecute.
Yeah,
Persecute chain.
no doubt about that.
Persecute.
Counterspell.
Knock a counterspell out of your hand. Right there.
Right,
but
that would have been helpful because then he
Draw?
could corrupt.
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm.
That's not good
Well,
enough. He has to find
He
Force
has
Oil.
a forbid. Yeah, he needs to brainstorm, hoping he can find
Yeah,
a
he's gonna-
counterspell in the land.
He's going to brainstorm main phase. Try to get a land into play. That's Force Oil.
Ooh.
Force Oil, brainstorm, disrupt.
Actually will drain life
Risk
him for the
disrupt.
maximum, so the disrupt may end up going off.
Does
Let's
he
see.
risk disrupt?
Yeah,
Yes.
he does.
Boom! There's the disrupt card. Still, this is not a land. We know this from before.
Right.
It does have another brainstorm in his hand, though.
Brainstorm.
Does this brainstorm? If this is a land and a counterspell, it's an Enlightened Tutor, a Force of Will, and a brainstorm.
That is an amazing brainstorm.
How many
That
blue cards does he
is
have for those
an
Force of Wills in his hand?
amazing brainstorm.
He has to pull this off?
Yeah, I think so. It looks favorable, actually.
Davis looks necro-locked. His hand after resolving the brainstorm.
Oh, geez.
8
Is
mana
he going to
or
cast
something.
that drain? He is, and that's going to leave him with only the corrupt.
Force of will, removing forbid.
What?
That leaves him with only corrupt.
What?
So he's going to have to use the consult on a swamp. But he's like two
He
turns
ritualed
away
the
from
drain?
it. Yeah, this is just horrendous. Like, I think this game's over.
3 counters. Now he
Right.
loses to 2, and Bob had 2.
Right.
So, okay. Go ahead.
He has to consult for swamp, corrupt, and Bob has Force of Will in his.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if he would win, but he had a chance.
And Bob's going to have a land on the top 3 because he's the great one.
He said, "Go." Get back in this. He can spin Treetop Village and gain 3 life.
Go ahead.
He's still got a shot. He can spin Treetop Village and gain. Abundance.
That's 6.
Swamp. He consulted for swamp.
Force of will.
That's it. Bob Maher wins the Pro Tour.